All right. Good morning, traders. Sorry for the delay. You should now see my screen, hear my voice. You should be able to chat with me, chat with each other. And officially welcome out everyone to the Options Income Launchpad Wednesday Market Midpoint. My name is Scott. I will be your host. As always, keep in mind what we do is for education illustrative purposes only, nothing intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors, so we don't give personalized investment advice. Any decisions made should be done so at your own risk. Yada, yada, yada. All right, let's go. We'll do these things. We'll do a little revisit of the posture, check in on things. Yesterday was a little bit nasty. We talked about it. But nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. Good morning to you, Kent. Good morning, Victor and Mike. Good morning, Bit Boss. Happy hump day to you, Mike. Good morning, Charles and Peter. And hello, as always, Stephen D. Great to have you all. Good morning, everybody else. Good morning, Kevin. Oh, Kevin. I feel like I haven't seen you for a little bit. Or maybe I haven't noticed, but good to see you. Glad to have you hanging out. Good morning, Janie. Great energy. Love it. Thanks, everyone. Market responding. We're bouncing back a little bit. You can see SPY up about 0.5%. And the corresponding move with the VIX. Okay. So, what's it take for me to, as we talk about market posture, what is it going to take for us to score the VIX again favorably? What is going on? Okay, let's see. Drawing tools. We clearly we went up there. We had that spike that caused our score to drop 0.5 point during this time. That was a negative. We're like, oh, we don't love that. We've gotten some of it back, but not all of it. We've gotten back 1/4 of it here already. And we're wondering now if it would have gotten all the way down to here or lower, we would have gotten the other 1/4, but it didn't. It turned back up. And now we're wondering, is this the high and it's going to roll over at some point at or around this 20 level? Clearly, if that happens, we'll get the other 1/4 point. And from there, if it comes down and takes this low out, that will be another 1/4 point there. Boom, boom, boom. That's what I'm looking for. Steven says below 18. I'm going to actually just put yesterday's low, 1861. I'm good, 1850. Close to that, 1850. I'm a little, as long as we take that low out and close below that, though it won't turn the stochastics. I don't know that I need that. It's okay if we see a little bit of it, but I don't need that necessarily. I don't think you're wrong. I think putting it in at 18 makes sense. Okay. So, but this is where would this leave us? Let's pull that up. So that 0.25 is already built in. That was here to here. So if I get the lower high and I get the takeout of the prior low, we're back to 1.25. That's actually stronger than we've seen for a while. That'd be a really good VIX. I'd feel pretty comfortable with that. Would love to see that. Okay. Volume is likely to drop back as of now to minus 0.25. Why do I say that? Well, let's go back to the SPY. We'll go look at trades. um, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because look at the AAL trade right here. It looked like it was barely going to get it, and I'm thinking, I got it. I got my target, and then today it's like, boom. Anyway, Apple stabilizing. So there's a couple that we have been in, or maybe are still in. Hello, Sandy. We're all better now that you're here. Good to see you. Okay. SPY. Let's look at the volume here. We added a sell day yesterday. So you can see that we're now more oriented to the sell side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've only got 3 buys. Clearly leaning more towards the sellers. You can see there's a sideways quality, almost downward. Actually more downward now as you draw this. We'll see what the rest of this week brings, but as of right now, the volume looks like it's going to lose a quarter of a point, offsetting the quarter we're going to gain from the volatility or from the VIX. Short-term trend score. Yeah, I mean, look, we broke down again. We're having a hard time sustaining a short-term trend right now. Some people would start making the argument that this is starting to show downtrend. And if in and you could make an argument that looks like this. I'm not making that argument. But certainly you could start connecting dots and saying, well, what about this? I'm saying that right now we seem to be in a bit of a consolidation at the end of a nice solid up move. So that's understandable right there, that consolidation. Overall, this is still a higher low than this one. And so I would actually say my short-term score is likely to hold. No, it's actually likely to drop. I probably will drop it to a 1. I'll probably drop it to a 1 in that consolidation and then if it breaks out, then that can move back up to 1.5 or 2. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Long term clearly is not going to change. It's just sort of sitting even as it moves into this. Remember that these red lines are 1.25 lines. So from a posture standpoint, flat. We're gaining a little, we're losing a little. It's holding on to bullish. So now let's drop back to now what? What are we thinking about trading? How's today? We're 12 minutes in, and you can see it's good volatility. We opened buyers, sellers. We're back where we started, and then some. We've got another 8 minutes before the opening range is, fully established. Let's go pop around and see what's happening. Let's get back out. Let's look at the markets first. So let's go look at the Qs. Trying to stabilize after yesterday's sell. Could be a little bit of back and forth today if I were making a guess at it. PLTR, lower lows. There's not much there right now. Oh, sorry. I'm like, wait, I'm not going in reverse order. I'm programmed. Small caps look okay. Oh, I didn't see that announcement, Peter. Good call out. Google is going to be added to the 30 stock composite that makes up the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Verizon is out. Yeah, let's go look at those two after we pop through these markets. Small caps are still holding up pretty well. Here are blue chips. Here's the Dow. That um, looks fine too. Everything's pretty stable, it seems. Okay, let's see. Google. So Google, as of right now, we're not. Maybe that's some of what we got back here was some early institutional buying in anticipation. I have no doubt that news, that information was rumored, especially to people on the inside, people like institutions who have their ears to the ground. um I would say there's a very good chance that uh there was some early anticipatory buying there, and now we're seeing a lull. You can see that it's really 340 from 408. We're down 60 points. It's almost 20% off the highs. We're almost back into this area here. Maybe we see that's where it stabilizes. It's gonna have an impact, Peter. It's just how and when is a the let's go see what the impact on Verizon has been. Is it not VZ? Yeah. And possibly the same thought process. If I go back to Google now, yeah, that tracks well right there with the first wave of this. Not as much the second one, though. The second one was more influenced by earnings. So I would say that this is big money right through here. Buying, starting to acquire Google while they're starting to um, you can see that same kind of a thing. I debate any impact as the institutional buying is not as prevalent in the Dow as well. Yeah, here's what you're missing for institutional buying. Remember that there are hundreds. Fidelity has a Dow Jones fund. Like they have an S&P fund, they have a Dow, they have a Nasdaq, they have small caps. They have so Fidelity has one, Janus has one, White Oak has one, Global has one, Templeton has one. Right, so it's like all of these institutions that have these Dow tracking the DIA itself. What has to happen? They have to sell all of their Verizon, and they have to buy a mix of uh, Google. Blinking. Right? So if they own millions of shares of Verizon as a mix, as a composite, where they're basically in those funds, they're doing what the DIA does. They don't go by the DIA because the DIA has management fees you have to pay. They're not going to pay management fees. They are the manager. So they create a composite of the Dow Jones. And that's a fund that people invest into and they charge a small management fee for. And so all of those, you could find hundreds, if not even thousands. I would say hundreds at least. All of them have to liquidate their Verizon and accumulate Google at the ratio that is necessary for that to then still behave. like the Dow Jones behaves. So yeah, that's the institutional impact. Is it's a reshuffling. Um, and I think we did see it. You can see that that was um, net sellers there, while there was net buyers on Google. Now we've seen it sort of stabilize. So is there going to be more shift? I would still imagine so, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Yeah, it's always interesting to see index impact. We'll see it a lot when we see something being added to the S&P 500. That's a big one because they add it to the S&P and something else is getting dropped. Normally, it's getting dropped because it's already starting to underperform. This just sort of accelerates it. Like, it's getting taken off the index. As things continue to get bad, they get delisted and so on. I mean, that's not what's happening with Verizon. Clearly, it's just not being seen as a top 30 anymore, and Google is. Okay, back to the top. AAL, late payoff for anyone. Apple. Uh, I still have mine. I don't know what everyone else is doing. Has been a minor hiccup, and I'm looking to see if this thing can re-engage here. Archer Daniels is down. Already starting to see some stability in these, and certainly the potential for more opportunity here. At some point, these guys may have a moment where they have a pretty serious move down, and then they'll come up and they'll have a struggle, and then we'll be thinking to ourselves, "Oh, I mean, are we overblown here? And maybe actually this is a $350 stock." Remembering that 6 months ago it was a $250 stock, and now it's at 600. Oh yeah, there's some questions. We have questions. But until I see this, if I have another drop down into this range, this is a higher low. And the thought is the trend would have us pulling for another move higher. Um, we'll see what happens. AMD, Amazon still struggling. You can see ASX, so they're all just sort of coming out of this and deciding, is there still more buyers than sellers? AXTI is continuing to drop. I think I'm going to drop this one. We never traded it. We got some new stocks yesterday. If you missed it, we had a great session. I'll post it. We searched through three sectors: tech, financials, and industrials. And we've got about 18 or so new stocks for the watch list. They'll be getting added when I do. So today, tomorrow, we'll be deleting, as we just did with, or as we're about to do with AXTI, and we'll be adding the new ones. And then I will update the watch list so that everybody can have an opportunity to go in and do the same. Okay. Any trades anyone wants to touch on specifically, throw it at me as we're going through our list. BAC waiting for the pullback, cities flagging potentially. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's in this little consolidation here. Last time it had something like this, and then it just busted out of that. Caterpillar and CMI. Cummins, okay. Couple of industrials. I know Caterpillar strong. Actually, next on the list, consolidation. If you like it, if you're willing to trade it with, the earnings, or the not the earnings, the option liquidity, Yes, Simone. I don't have it inputted yet, but I have it in front of me. I think that's a great idea. We'll go through that list for sure. And that way everyone can see some of these new ones. 100%. Great idea. Great suggestion. Consolidation. You can see the stochastics is turned over. You can see that this is starting to have price action moving down. Swing trade, yeah. Swing trade down or swing trade you just got out of a nice swing trade up and you're waiting for a pullback. Let me know what that looks like. But it does look bullish. I just think, is it done on its pullback? Cisco, come on, Cisco. Look, it's trying. It's like revving up. Yeah, starting to get moving. Get the engine running. It's coming. It's coming. CSX. Oh, it's moving. Um, I was thinking about that one, but I'm not now. It's too late. I won't get the reward to risk I want, I don't think, at this point. You will have a good hike in Ashy. 45.89. I don't know. Maybe I'll still play around with this one. We'll see. A quick little, a quick hit continuation trade. CSX looks pretty good. Delta kept moving. Dell stabilizing, not necessarily showing on any momentum that's new. GE, as we said, industrials is one for us. Needs a little bit more of a consolidation for me to be convinced. Metals are kind of getting hit. Gold down 2%. GM sideways. There's Google we talked about. Goldman. Yeah. So Goldman, Morgan, JP Morgan, City. We're starting to see some pullbacks here. We've got 8 new financials. So as soon as we get through this list, we'll go through those. But as I watch this sell off, whenever it dries up, there's new opportunity there for us. IBKR, same thing. Pulling back, strong trend. Just had a higher high. What are we looking to do? Trade the next higher low. Intel consolidating, certainly moving into a viable position. IWM. Yeah, small caps look all right still. JCI. You can see a lot of stalls. Nothing looks bad. Nothing looks outrageously momentum like it's setting up and ready for a next trade. This is pulled back. It's looking like it could. Nothing there yet. Lions still holding on. Still holding on. Come on, Lion. I'm losing patience. Lumentum, no. LRCX, pulling back, moving into setup position. Lunar, no. Meta. The communication services really has demonstrated itself to be quite weak as a sector. Marvell pulled back. Oh, Morgan looking good. What am I saying about financials, you guys? I've been talking about financials. I've been saying our big four, which is Bank of America and Citigroup on the bank side, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley on the broker side. Our big four showed us the way. That's why we keep a closer eye on those guys and never drop them from the list because I'm like, hey, we're seeing some momentum there. Um, looking favorable for a setup. Microsoft is down. Micron down. Netflix, man, Netflix is just it cannot seem to find any footing whatsoever. The buyers have no interest. Nokia trying to hold on to this course. This is a very critical support level right here. This is kind of a complex head and shoulders. It's multi shoulders. I don't know what you'd call that. I did one time invent a chart pattern called the shrunken head and shoulders. You don't see a lot of those, but when you do, watch out. Nvidia, it's trying to hold on. We'll see if it does. Sitting right on top of the 100-day moving average. NVT, I mean, a lot of these are looking good. The volatility, MVT is not bad. MVT's volatility is below anything below 100. It's crazy that right now I'm thinking anything below 100, and I'm like, whoa, look at that. When 10 years ago it was unheard of to have things at 100. Nobody had vol there for very long. Now it's just like this. The new normal is huge volatility and wide spreads. I don't know how the market makers pulled the pulled the wool over our eyes, but right now they're telling you they're making out like bandits while the options market has gotten leaner. I don't like it. I'm thinking of initiating a campaign, a take back the streets campaign. Let me know if anyone's interested. Oracle down. There will be torches and pitchforks. That's a guarantee. There will be torches and pitchforks. You don't necessarily have to dress like a villager. Mike's in. I knew Mike would be in. Okay. We're heading to the exchanges. This injustice will not stand. Palantir, we already looked at that one. Doesn't look great. Riot tried. It tried, it failed, it did its best, but it still had a bullish move. There's still more potential setting up out here. So, yeah, let's look for that. We're seeing it. Rocket Labs. It's not going to be much of a mob, you guys, if it's only Mike and I. We're going to need more people. We need at least 6 or 7. I'm just saying. Stephen D's in. Okay, now we're building. Now we're building. RTX. Maybe a few more months of the outrage of these wide spreads that we're all having to shuffle through. Then we'll get more for the cause. RTX maybe stabilizing here. Silver pulled back, triggered a new trade. There you go. Everyone, I agree. SNDK. So what are we seeing here? The market's trying to pause. The buyers are trying to come in. We're going to see what impact they have. If they can hold and push, then we should get some signals. Otherwise, it's a little lean right now. STM. But if you like these things here, they're if you miss this, then you're thinking, okay, here's this one. Tesla, nah. Taiwan Semiconductor, UPS, Viking Strong. Boy, that one I discount. I was like, I'm going with the airlines, and this thing did make a great move. Yeah, right. I kind of feel the same way. VSH, big pullback. Still going. We'll see what happens there. WDC setting up again. Walmart, no. Okay. This is the list. Simone was asking for the list. We're going to get this out there. So I'm going to go through one sector at a time. I'm going to add these in as I go. So let's start with FPS. This is new. FPS. Oh, it's a pretty new stock, it seems. It's only been around less than 6 months, but nice trend, nice momentum. Pulling back, looking for possibly something there. That's a new one. What's next? Oh, we put FedEx. We added FedEx. It's a stronger looking stock than UPS. We'll see what happens with it. They just had earnings. Earnings did well, so let's see what if they stabilize and end up giving something like that. The next one is ODFL, Old Dominion Freight Lines, trucking stock. You can see it makes a nice move up, come back down, nice move up, come back down. There could be something building up in here. And lastly, from industrials, we have KNX. I have terrible handwriting. I can't even read my own writing. KNX. Nope, that's not it. KNX. Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's another trucking one. Did I add that? I did add it. Okay. KNX. One or the other, I think I'll end up trading on those. That's the first group. Those are the technology or the industrial. Technology, we only added 6 new ones. We had a pretty good list already as we went through. HPQ, if this thing can hold here, we're thinking that one. I'm adding these as I go to the other list. I didn't delete very many today, so our list is looking it's looking pretty good. It's looking big. Let's see. Next, TTMI. TTM Technologies. Yeah, that's a nice looking one, right? You guys are like, Scott, you guys did well. Thank you. I think we did do well. This is on a little bit of a pullback here. PENG. I don't know what this is. Penguin Solutions. Oh, yeah. Look at that momentum. Come on. Penguin. That was a financials. ST. Sensata Technologies. Sensata. I don't know if that's being said right, but it's fun to say. Give it a try. Sensata. ST. And BTDR. Deer Technologies. I was looking for some cheaper things. This does have above 100 volatility, but this might be something a little. Sorry, I clicked off when I was trying to enter the symbol. BTDR, Bit Deer. I don't know. The options looked okay. I don't know if this will survive. Maybe we'll see what happens with this. Lastly, for technology is CORZ. CORZ. Core Scientific. Looks solid, right? Some good additions. How about BE? Peter says, okay. Bloom Energy. I mean, it's a good energy stock. It made a big move. Definitely feels overextended right now. Stochastics rolling over. It is pushing back up after yesterday, but I just have a feeling a lot of things are pushing up against resistance levels rather than establishing new. I mean, if it goes through like a pennant or a flag type pattern, then I'd be more inclined. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at the financials. This was our biggest list of new STT State Street Corp. We like it. Good trend. Currently, it's in pullback mode, though. We're not going to rush. So we're just saying that it looked pretty good to us. Here's T Rowe Price. T Rowe Price on a pullback could be moving into a viable position. We'll keep an eye on that one. Little concerned about the option quality with only 2 million shares trading on average per day. Let's go APO. Apollo Global. You can see. Let's try it. If it can hold at this cluster of moving averages, then we may have ourselves a tradable situation. TD Bank, Toronto Dominion. Similar to State Street, not really buyable now, but certainly strong and worth consideration on a pullback. BNS, Bank of Nova Scotia. A couple of these are big six banks in Canada. TD Bank, and although TD is here too. Bank of Nova Scotia is a big Canadian bank. I think they have a presence in America as well. This looks phenomenally strong, and it looks setting up. It looks like we're very close to this type of a thing happening over here. So I like this one a lot. Did I add this to my list? BN, I did not. Let me get it on the list. BNS. BNS is on the list. What do you guys think about these? Anyone finding new favorites? Like you're like, ooh, well, JEF, Jeffries Financial. Love it. Let's get this on our list. Ally Financial. Now that I see this one here, I really don't like. I actually don't like that one. I'm not going to add it. I scratched it off my note card. And now we have one new insurance company, MetLife, looking pretty solid. A bearish day today, however, it's already in pullback mode. So if it pulls back into this range, I think we actually have a trade setting up. Yeah, I feel like that's a nice addition. There's some nice looking stocks in setup mode already. What do I think of VLY? I'll take a look. I will take a look, Stephen. I like it. I mean, it's in the right group. Valley National Bank Corp. It's in financials. Made a new high. I think we're a little late. If it's a new trade, I would say I would be kind of like thinking these hike and ashies. I wouldn't want to stop down here. I'd be moving in for if it was a swing trade. If it's a longer term trade, it's a cheaper financial stock that that you're thinking of investing in. Different story altogether. But as far as a trade goes, I would be thinking about this as one move due to the number of times it's made that. So with that in mind, that moved from 13 to 14 and a half, 14.60. It's $1.60. And 12 to that's $1.75. and 11.80 and a buck 80. So if we're getting that, that puts us 14, target up here at 15.80. So if that's the case, you've got about $1.40, $1.35 to $1.40 of potential price movement to the upside. And then you have, let's say, a stop here, 1405, 1407. So you're risking about 40 cents to make a buck 35. Yeah. If that's the trade, I'm better than 3-1. It's a $14 stock. It's a 33% volatility. Let me go peek at these options. I'm a little nervous about the options, but let's go see what they have. The options are not great. I'm looking at the Julys. There's no weeklies. There's only monthlies. I'm looking at the Julys. We've only got ourselves.
This is a reminder.
We've only got ourselves 400 at the monies. So they're a little soft as far as that goes. What's my minimum? What's funny is I say 2-1, but that would be more for like a continuation trade. Right now, 2.5 to 3-1 is what I'm looking for a swing trade. If I can get at least 2.5 to 3-1, I'm going to be pretty happy with that. If I can get more than that, better still. CVX getting together with Microsoft to supply gas, power, electricity, 20-year contract for data centers. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Let's take a quick peek. CVX. Yeah. They're not doing great from a price standpoint. CVX is struggling. Microsoft, we already know, is. I do know those data centers are likely to be big, big money deals. It's just like a matter of who's capitalizing on them and how and so forth. Yeah, what would I say? Manage the trades you're in. Prospect for new trades today, I'd say, is pretty low. I mean, you never know what might shape up in the afternoon. But we do have it's a good new list. I don't know how many's on here right now, but I feel like we have a pretty strong watch list right now. Good candidates, good things to find, to trade. Let's go take a final peek at the market. So after the full opening range, you can see it held opening range by body looks like this. By shadow, it looks like this. It's testing, right? It's testing down a little bit. You're welcome, Joey. Happy to. As I said, I will go in and update the file. There's the word file so that you can download it. And that way you have the whole list exactly. Sandy, good to see you. We'll see you soon. Make good food choices, right? Always eat delicious tasting food. And if it can be healthy too, well, okay. Is that yeah, we'll see. As of right now, this thing's leaning a little more towards the sellers. If they have the ability to break it down, we may see it sell off a little bit more today, and then we'll see if we get an afternoon recovery. Yeah, okay. Well, any others that we missed? I don't want to, as I said, I think we have our marching orders for the day. Manage the trades you're in. Be a little cautious with any new trades that you're looking to take. Data center issues, power and water, tough problem, backlash from locals. We're seeing that exact thing here, bit boss in Utah, where I am. That jackass from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful, whatever, is trying to build one, and it's like this thing is going to use double the amount of water that the state residents use, and we live in a desert, so what the hell sense does that make? Right? Texas, Arizona, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, well, what's the schedule look like? Glenn will be here tomorrow morning for the opening bell session. Glenn and I will do our normal back-to-back Q&A trading working sessions, the coaching sessions where you can just come in, ask questions, look at trade setups, look at trade management, post-mortems, whatever you want to do to ask questions and get things figured out, and then we'll wrap it up. That's why the moon will work for. There you go. There you go. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow evening. As always, happy trading.